So what's going on guys, Kids here, and welcome back to a brand new video. For today we are looking into Guild Wars 2 and we will see if this game is worth playing in 2023. This free-to-play game was released in 2012 and it has changed and improved a lot in these years. So just before we start, I want to clarify that yes, this video is sponsored, but I'm not getting paid for saying positive or negative things about the game. All that they said is just to give a try to this game and see if I like it. So if at the end of the video you want to try this game out, then click my link in the description to download and play the game for free. And if you want to unlock the newest expansion called The Secrets of the Obscure, then in the same description you will find the links where to purchase it. So with that said, if this sounds interesting to you, then let's get right into it. So then let's move over to creating a character, and it is one of the most important parts of a new MMO game. And in this process you have several races and classes to choose from. Classes in this game are more commonly referred to as professions. So if you hear me saying professions, then that means class, and they will cover the basic categories and archetypes of a soldier, adventurer, and or a scholar. In Guild Wars 2, all professions have access to tools and talents, which will open up a different type of playstyle. As you level your class, you can steer your focus into a more specialty, such as healing, doing damage, being a tank, or decide to have a bit of everything. This class system isn't as rigid as other games, and it offers a bit more variety of playstyles, which is up to the player to create. Character creation is also where you will make your choices, which can guide you through your very first few steps of the storyline. Once you complete character creation, it will load into your first instance, where you will find yourself having to defend your hometown and face off against a cinematic boss fight. The first few minutes of gameplay will introduce you to what a boss encounter will look like, but don't worry, because this is just a 5% of PvE encounters that will come later in the game. This game is known for being quick, easy, and freeing, and with the introduction of the new character-bound quests, known as the Character Adventurer Guide, leveling has never been faster or easier. And on top of the basic leveling methods, you can as well explore the open world, face off against dynamic events, and you can even complete renowned hordes. In Guild Wars 2, you're rewarded even more for playing the way you want. The Adventure Guide is helpful in guiding you to areas and services that you have otherwise missed on your adventures, such as crafting, using the trading post, and or even getting used to the movement elements of the game's combat. Guild Wars 2 is truly a free-to-start MMORPG, focused on gameplay and not grinding, so more hardcore players can easily level up their alts and to help their friends catch up without having to spend hundreds of hours mindlessly doing the same few quests. Another element of leveling are dungeons. Dungeons are tried and true staple of the MMORPG experience, and they will also come with a new unified currency, which replaces 8 currencies for the 8 dungeons. Such a thing has made it even easier for players to play dungeons, to collect gear and rewards, without having to farm a specific dungeon for one specific currency. One thing about instance content that is different from other games, and it is how the LFG system works. The looking for group mechanic is more of a big board of groups that you can advertise or choose from. There's no structured LFG matchmaking, like a matchup system, so it will take time to get used to a system like this. Originally, dungeons were the only form of instant content available in Guild Wars 2, but now there's a plethora of instant-based content, where players can form up to tackle interactive boss fights. The 3 major forms are fractals, raids, and strike missions. If you are a PvE player and gravitate towards smaller groups, then fractals are the perfect type of content. The fractals are essentially a max level dungeon, which can range from tier 1 to tier 4. Tier 1 is beginner tier, where players fight through a multitude of dungeons, and as you climb through tiers, the dungeons become inflicted with instabilities, applying new rules and buffs and debuffs to the previously easier dungeon. The players will also be able to get stronger gear that will help you to withstand the higher difficulty as you climb the higher tiers of fractals. Then as far as raids in Guild Wars 2 go, they will require a high level of class proficiency and group coordination to complete. Such instances are some of the game's best, but have slowed down in production for another form of 10-player content. The newest form of instant content takes the quality of raid boss mechanics, but package them in a faster and more accessible bite-sized bundle. And then lastly, we have the strike missions. You can assemble your allies and take down formidable bosses in 2 strike missions. which are instant boss fights for squads or 10 players. Both new strike missions will be available at this expansion, with challenge modes for each coming in the next few releases. Guild Wars 2 was initially critiqued for having a lack of endgame content back in 2012, but now, many years since the release, once you hit max level, you continue on your story. This game is very story driven, and following along the main story path will more naturally guide you to the endgame content and gear structures. After the personal story, you may choose to play the seasonal stories and the expansion packs. This type of content does not need to be purchased, aside from Season 1, which is free Hearts of Thorns, which is the very first expansion, that was released in 2015, and for being it the first, Hearts of Thorns continues to be one of the most replayed expansions. This expansion was focused around bringing players together to face off against map-wide events known as metas, which expand the map story and ends with a monumental boss fight. These meta events are some of the most interactive and cinematic community-driven events ever experienced in any MMO. There are as well tons of resources to help you get started, from an endgame wiki to the new player guide at guildwars2.com. So as you can see, no matter what type of player you are, there are tons of guides to get you started, or which will help you to guide through all the content and how to improve your character. So now let's move over to the newest expansion, which is called The Secrets of the Obscure, which is now live, and it will guide you through the unveiling secrets behind one of the most mysterious structures in Guild Wars 2, called the Wizard Towers. The Wizard Tower is a floating structure at the southeast edge of Kessex Hill, looming over the town of Garenhof, once rumored to house magical tomes and artifacts. The tower is supposedly owned by a reclusive wizard Isgarin, who helps and protects local people, but he's almost never seen in person. This new expansion brings more flexibility in combat style, with several new system updates and a new reward system. If you buy this expansion, then you'll get new content and challenges every 3 months. I personally really like that now relics can augment different player builds, with additional effects and a new revamped rune system. Mounts as well are one of the strongest gameplay features, and flying ones are particularly popular, so now players will be able to explore the skies of the area with a new flight mastery and more feasible way to acquire the most famous mount, the Skyscale. Guild Wars 2 is your story, and in the Secrets of Obscure, you will be able to track down and eliminate a demonic threat all across the area via rift hunting and earn rewards for doing so. All players follow their own customized quest storylines, as it evolves from choices you made at the beginning of the game, and then the game's expansions continue to tell the story of the ever-evolving world and much more. Now for those who are looking for more spicy game mode, where you take out aggression and maybe even healing others, then you can head into the Mist to fight it out in PvP. This PvP mode has 2 teams of 5 facing off to capture points, kill enemies and complete side objectives. This is your standard smaller team PvP game mode. But then we have World vs World. This PvP mode is for the players who are looking to be a part of a larger siege against castles and keeps. So you can head into the Mist into the World vs World game mode, where 3 teams of hundreds of players battle it out for the territory and supplies. A quick side note is that these 2 game modes have been more recently balanced, so you will see specifically changes for smaller PvP and for the World vs World PvP as well. Some abilities make sense in one game mode and some abilities in other, so players are encouraged to make different builds and playstyles for each game mode. Most of these PvP game modes are riddled with their own niche communities, where you can find discords and guilds to find companionship, friendships and get carried if you want to get carried, and then later hopefully yourself can carry other people when you are more experienced. So then in my final summary, I personally really enjoyed the Guild Wars 2 experience, that I think that anyone and everyone should give it a try. With all of the improvements to leveling and the pace at which the story goes and flows, and the fact that you can find something to entertain you with, the new expansion is also very fun, and I can't wait to experience and explore more of it. On top of all of this, Guild Wars 2 keeps releasing new content every year, with the new content and new challenges planned to be released every 3 months. So if you are a new player or returning one, there's so much content to explore, and by the time you get there, there's going to be even more content waiting for you. So with that said, I really do appreciate everyone for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again to Guild Wars 2 for sponsoring this video, and if you want to give this game a try, then don't forget to click my link down below in the description to purchase the latest Guild Wars 2 expansion, called The Secrets of the Obscure. And today you will be able to take it to the skies of Tyria with a Skyscale mount to uncover mysteries of the Wizard Tower and fight incursions from the mist. And while you're doing that, if you have any suggestions, feedback, or other video ideas like guides or beginner tutorials that you would like to see in the next video, then feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. If you found this video helpful, then please leave a like, subscribe, and enable that notification bell, so this way you could support the channel and you would not miss any more upcoming content from me. With having that said, you have an amazing day and I will see you in my next video, so take it easy, peace.